Happy Halloween! I am Andy Wintower, the bastard love child of Andy Warhol and Anna Wintower. And why wouldn't I be? I love Halloween, and what I love is making up really strange characters like Andy Wintower. In fact, one year I was Ella Vader. I took a Darth Vader mask and put a wig on it, and I was Darth's wife, Ella. Of course, one year I won the West Hollywood contest as I was Vincent from Beauty and the Beast, and Ron Perlman and I have very much the same facial structure. In case you guys are looking for a Ron Perlman replacement for Hellboy 3, here I am. But Halloween, I love Halloween. It is the gayest. It's our holiday. The queers own the holiday, okay? It's our holiday. Gay men own it, and that's just that. By the way, straight men, how come you all want to be in drag on Halloween? What's up with that? Come on, just drag out some other time. Every straight man in the world wants to be Britney Spears for Halloween or something like that. But anyway, Halloween is a very interesting time. And in America, I really, really love how we have adopted it because we claim to be a Christian nation. Although just recently we found out, you guys are going to applaud about this, white Christians are in the minority now. They are only 43% of our country, which is why they're sinking into the dinosaur pits and having trouble with that. However, if you are a Christian, if you believe in God, then you cannot celebrate Halloween. Let me tell you again, if you are a Christian, if you believe in God, you cannot celebrate Halloween because it is sacrilegious. It goes against the Bible. Now, we all know it started in one of my favorite places, of which I now know I am 19% Irish, over in Ireland. And it was Samhain, as they pronounce it over there. Some people say Samhain, but no, it's Samhain. And this was a festival. And the night before, the dead got to walk between the veil of life and death. Now, we have a pumpkin out there. We should have brought the pumpkin in because the pumpkin is key to Halloween, really. And if you think about the pumpkin, you will really have a nice feeling about Halloween. You see, the pumpkin represents a gourd, as in, are you out of yours? And what they would do, they had this big fire because winter was coming, okay? What happens during the winter? It's colder. The things don't stay green. So winter was coming, but they wanted to bring this hearth, this fire, this green into the house. So they would hollow out gourds, and they would go to the communal fire, and they would take a stick from the communal fire and light another stick and put it in the gourd and bring that gourd back into their home to bring some of that light and some of that, that life into their house for the winter. And that's where the pumpkin actually started. It was just a gourd to be filled with a burning ember. Now in America, we love to be frightened. Look, we elected Trump. That's scary enough. But we really do. And Southern California, where I'm sitting right now, is Halloween Central. We have Universal Studios, which turns into this entire Halloween extravaganza. We have the place that started it all, Knott's Berry Farm, with the mistress of the dark, Elvira, who is performing there this weekend for her final performance. I had the pleasure of opening for Cassandra 3 times. Over at the theater there in Knott's Berry Farm. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman. And we were talking about, who you geeked out over. Remember we said, because you were geeking out over David Lynch? Well, I grew up watching Cassandra Peterson, Elvira, on television. I was a kid, and she would host the horror movies. So when she became a fan of mine on KFI Radio and asked us to come and MC the show, I was like out of my mind. You thought that Streisand had asked me to sing with her. And I love Knott's Scary Farm. We also have Disneyland involved now. We are Halloween Central. And of course, my queen, the Queen Mary, has become the place. People fly in from all over the country to go on Halloween to Dark Harbor on the Queen Mary. Now, the Queen Mary is in the register of haunted ships, okay? So allegedly, it's really haunted with real live ghosts. I've stayed on the ship many a time. I haven't seen a ghost. Then again, I didn't see a bellman either. So, what can they say about that? But it is frightening in their mazes to go down in the belly of the Queen Mary because the Queen Mary has such a rich history. I could do a half hour on her, how she saved Jews during the war. She was the fastest ship available, so they painted her gray. Hitler put a bounty out on her. They used to carry war dead back over in her cargo hold. This ship has quite a history, and now, come Halloween, it is the place to be. we're here because I wanted to find out what scares people. You know, right now in the world, there's some really horrible stuff going on. The Las Vegas massacre, which I would call the largest shooting in America, but if you're watching this in a year, unfortunately, there could have been another, because that's the state we live in. So how do you come out here and have a good time and talk about scares and frights when there's so many real horrors going on in the world? You know how? This is how, because we need this. We need this now more than ever. We need to celebrate. We need to remember that life can be fun, and that sometimes a good old-fashioned scare can come in the face of a clown or of someone walking around, and I don't mean the president, I mean a real clown, or someone walking around and just, you know, looking weird and tapping you on the shoulder. They've been doing this now for about 7 years as an event like Dark Harbor. However, the ship has been giving haunted tours for some time, because one thing that the Queen Mary has, as you'll hear from the interviews we're going to do, that other haunted places don't have, is if you believe in these things, the ship is really haunted. Now, my late husband Andrew and I stayed on board, and God knows we went around the place all night long. Did we see the little dead girl by the pool? I think I did. Andrew was like, no, it ain't. I said, yes. He said, no. I said, yes. And then I ran back to my room and locked the door, because ghosts obviously can't move through particle wood. What scares you? I want to know that. You can email if you like, feedback@reallykarel.com. Name is spelled Karel. But what actually scares you? Are you afraid of, you know, when I saw The Exorcist, how many of you saw The Exorcist? Raise your hands if you saw The Exorcist. When I came home, I saw it in the theater, hello. And when I came home, I swore to God I heard noise in the attic. The problem was we didn't have an attic, but I swore there was noise in the attic. I swore the bed was moving. We all get afraid of the things that go bump in the night, and Halloween, I don't want to say extorts it or exploits it, but it really does. Remember, this is the second largest holiday in the United States. Look, America, we need a holiday. Oh, that's a Madonna song. I mean a Madonna reference. We need a holiday, okay? We need to have fun. No matter when you're watching this, there could be a holiday upcoming. Don't let the terror and the horror of the real world rob your ability to have fun and rob your ability to come out and have a good time. No matter what city you live in, no matter where you are, get out and have a good time. And honey, when it's Halloween, look at all the possibilities. Now, you guys have a lot of events here, but nothing quite like Dark Harbor. It's a huge event. It's multi-month. It generates a huge chunk of change. When did it start?
You know, the Queen Mary started doing a haunt more than 20 years ago, and about 7 years, this is the 7th year of Dark Harbor, 7 years ago, the ship decided to kind of take it back from the promoter and rebrand it and reimagine it and create a Dark Harbor, and we've been kind of evolving ever since.
It's double the size this year.
It grows every year. We try and make it bigger and better. We have more monsters and more mazes this year than we've ever had before, more nights than we've ever had before, so we're kind of keeping everyone on their toes and trying to create the best experience we can for our guests.
How do you market this? Because, you know, part of this episode is that Halloween is now huge business. And that whether any part of the country likes it or not, we own it in Southern California. Not Scary Farm, one of the originals. I really think it was the original. And then we've got you guys, and we've got Universal, and we've got the LA Haunted Hayride, and we've got, Orlando might try, but no, they don't have a boat. We really do own Halloween in Southern California. So this is a big deal. So what challenges does it present in marketing? And let me ask you this. This is another question, two-parter. We're in a crazy world right now. How does that affect you guys here at the ship as you're doing this kind of event?
So, first question, marketing. We're being in an environment where we have a lot of friends and brothers and sisters in the haunt industry, just within driving distance, is a great thing, I think, because we have a huge audience of people in Southern California who love to go to haunts.
And I think that they don't compete because this is a completely different experience than any of the others we mentioned.
Absolutely. I would say each of those that you mentioned is
all unique.
Totally different experience. And each of us, we all do what we do well. And the thing that we do well is that, we tie this haunt into the history of the ship. And it's really
That mystique carries. I mean, that's got cachet. That's got value.
It does. There isn't anything else like the Queen Mary anywhere in the world, and the fact that we are actually a allegedly haunted venue. We have spirits who allegedly haunt the ship, and we tie those stories of spirits that allegedly haunt the ship into our characters and into our mazes, and we really try to make it as authentic as possible. And we really try to bring the history of the ship alive and endear the ship to people for generations to come.
Now, how do you isolate? When I was here the other night, I said, I don't need to go to a maze. Trump is still president. I'm scared enough. But how do you isolate? Because there's no craziness of the outside world in here. Not in the mazes, not in anything. It is all uniquely just scary old fun. Is that a conscious decision to keep things going on in the world outside of Dark Harbor? Because other mazes don't, and other places will do different things. Is that a conscious decision?
Yeah, I think we try to keep, we have so many stories, and we haven't even gotten to tell all of the stories.
Chef, the new one, he's walking around.
Chef is a brand new story that we're telling this year, the Maze Feast, which we've introduced just this year, the 4th maze on the ship for the first time ever. And that's really exciting, but that's just one of the stories that we still have to tell. So we don't need to think outside of our own box to really create original and engaging content, because we have it here.
When they expand this and it turns into a little island over there, or whatever they're going to do, I can only see that being better for Dark Harbor.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's what is planned for the property, as a whole, is really exciting. It's a long time coming. We have a 46-acre property here that is right on the water. It's probably one of the most prime pieces of property to be developed in all of the West Coast.
Because we talked about this last time. Every venue everywhere across the globe is facing financial difficulties, and every venue everywhere across the globe has had to rethink what they do. You guys have become an event place. Chill, Dark Harbor, big concerts. You're really becoming a destination for events.
Absolutely, and that has been a conscious effort, right. Because we believe.
I mean, the tour is great and the ship is wonderful, but the events get people here, and then they're exposed to it, and then they take advantage of it.
And the events give us an opportunity to reach out to multiple audiences and demographics and people that are interested in different things who will come back.
The reinvention's working.
Absolutely. It's working, and it draws new people, and it draws repeat visitors over and over again. And we've seen people come back again and again, for different events, as well as bringing in brand new friends who maybe have never been to the ship before, and we get to expose them to the ship and keep her alive.
So this is a question I'm asking everybody. What scares you? And it doesn't have to be a ghoul. I mean, really, what scares you right now? I'm not really afraid of being shot in public. A lot of people have told me that. But that's because it's in the news. I don't really fear that. I live in Long Beach. The hood. But what scares you? Do things that go bump in the night frighten you? What scares you?
Being cooked alive scares me.
That would bother me. It's why I don't go in jacuzzis.
Yeah.
Oh, really? They cook your kidneys. I am not coming out with cooked kidneys. I'm not doing it. You guys actually cast people as some of the ghosts that may be haunting the Queen Mary or such.
That's exactly right. One of the things that's nice about the Queen Mary location is, first of all, we have this beautiful ship as the backdrop for our event, so nobody can match that. You just
right. Knott's is great, but it's still Knott's.
And it's fantastic, and Universal's fantastic, and Six Flags. They're all fantastic. We love them all. But we have this big boat to serve as our centering piece, which is just great. And then the other thing that I think we have going that's very special here is we actually have an overarching story that encompasses the whole event. And so we have stories and we have main characters that are based, loosely on actual events that happen on the ship and actual hauntings.
Well, it's in the Haunted Registry.
The great thing about Dark Harbor is we've had this very tight-knit unit of people that have worked together for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I've been doing it 8 years, and the TD and I have been with it the whole time. And I've been with Steve and Charity, who are the most amazing producers to work with. And they usually give me like a month to recover from chill before they start calling me about Dark Harbor again. So we usually start talking in February, March, and I'm off to the races then, budgeting and figuring out, okay, so what's different this year and how.
It's a multi-million-dollar event.
It is, and
I mean, all of them are. Halloween is huge. I mean, we gays own it, but Halloween is huge business now.
It is. It's big business. It's after Christmas. It's the second biggest holiday, and for our guests and for our monsters alike, this is their Christmas. This is what they look forward to all year long.
They are employed for like 3 months, right, doing this?
Yeah, about 2 months, solidly. we got about 5 weeks of run, and we've got a couple of weeks of training before that.
In today's economy, a paycheck for 2 straight months is a really good thing.
You know, I'll tell you something. Part of the thing that keeps me coming back, beyond loving the event, beyond loving my coworkers, is I feel a little bit of an obligation to these people, because this is a paycheck for them, and it's a good solid paycheck, and they're like my kids.
How long, I see them spray painting back here and drawing madly, just like all the drag queens I used to know. How long does it take each, do you have it down to a science, like how long they're at the station and all of that?
Pretty much. First of all, these makeup artists are
How many makeup artists are back here?
usually have about 20 to 22 per night.
What? That's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And that's another thing that's different from our event from other events, is like almost all of our characters are in makeup.
Look at this. Who are you, Mr. Ghoul?
I am a doctor. I'm a psych doctor.
You're a psych doctor. In real life or now?
Just now.
Oh, well, what's wrong with me? You want to examine me? Give me a quick little examination?
You're fucking crazy.
Now, what scares you? What scares you, for real? What scares you? Because you're pretty damn scary, but what scares you? Outside of Donald Trump?
Dolls.
Dolls?
Dolls.
Dolls, like little dolls?
Like marionette dogs.
Because they come to life at night and will kill you.
Yeah, that's exactly what.
Have you ever seen Trilogy of Terror?
No.
Karen Black?
No.
Netflix it, and you will never look at a doll the same way again. I don't know what he's going to do. This is not staged. He just walked by. He said he can put a nail in his head. I'm not even sure he works here. I would hope so, the way that you look.
Right.
Who are you now?
Well, my name is Draven. I'm one of the sideshow magicians, entertainment that walks around here at Dark Harbor. And what I have...
A dog hop sounds better coming from Britain.
I know, right. Dark Harbor. So what we have here, that's a coffin spike. That is, that's what 6 inches really looks like.
I don't want to make it unsanitary.
Oh, no, go for it. Yeah, go ahead. Make sure it's sharp
you're
on...
right. That's 6 inches.
Yeah, right. Sharp on one end and dull on the other.
It is?
Ladies and gentlemen, kids, don't do this at home.
Please don't do this at home.
Go to your neighbor's house.
Do it to your neighbor. No, just kidding. Oh, see, this, we talked about what scares people. Right now, I am literally shaking because.
Well, gotta make sure it's sanitary, right? Hospital-like sterilization. Lick it before you stick it.
I bet you have no sinus issues.
None.
Oh my God, there's no way he faked that. That's really happening. That's really in his head. If I x-rayed you, I would see it.
Oh yes, medical science. If I were to sneeze right now, I could kill you.
Oh, right. Who pulls it out?
Now, that's a good question.
Yeah.
There's a reason why.
Don't do it early. Yeah, don't do it early.
Why you're the host.
Oh, dear God.
Oh no. Never mind. I thought it was blood. It's
Something
not.
presidents have tried to do, render me speechless, but they cannot. He just did. Oh, and then he licks. Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God. I would see a doctor if something like this happened to me. Look at her eyes. Can you see her eyes? They're spectacular. And who are you?
I am Brittany Johnson.
Hi, Brittany. You look incredible. How long does this take? We saw you downstairs, like people downstairs, like 10 minutes, 20, an hour.
15 minutes out.
Now, what scares you? You're out scaring everybody else. What scares you?
Clowns actually.
Clowns like that one right there, right behind. Wait, he moved. That clown was looking to the right just a minute ago. Did you see it? Did you see it?
Have not seen.
You're not going to see it.
Definitely not going to see. It.
Do you celebrate Halloween? Do you let your kids eat unwrapped things? Do you worry about razor blades and apples? Do you know there has never really been a case of anybody being hurt from Halloween candy? And yet a human being has to wait 2 weeks to get an x-ray if they're on Medi-Cal. But if you bring your candy to a hospital that next day, they'll x-ray it for you. I'm not making this up. Hospitals will x-ray your candy. And yet if you break your leg and are on Medi-Cal, they're going to make you wait 2 weeks. You should bring some candy with you to the hospital next time you need an x-ray. Because there's a lot of myths around Halloween, particularly urban legends in America. People don't get poisoned. Oh God, what are some of the other ones? You know, this, that, and the other thing. It's just not, it's meant to scare you. And it does. I remember when I was a kid, you guys grew up in Big Bear, so this probably didn't happen to you, but we were poor. And you see, you never went trick-or-treating in the poor neighborhoods. So my mama would bring us to the nice neighborhoods, and we'd go trick-or-treating down there and get the good candy. Because in the poor neighborhoods, you got those damn Tootsie Rolls and suckers, you know, the crap nobody wants. Over in the good neighborhoods, they're giving out mini Snicker bars, mini Kit Kat bars. Sweet baby Jesus, why on this one holiday do we give our children enough sugar to give them diabetes in the years to come? I don't know, but we do it all in the name of fun. Halloween has taken on many incarnations throughout the year, but one thing we can all agree on, it's a day of fun. It's a day to let loose. What bothers me now, it's got a lot of political. There's a lot of Donald Trumps out there, a lot of Hillary Clintons, it's gotten very political, but still, it's supposed to be a day to just dress up like anything you want to, like Cher perhaps, or undress, like be Grace Jones. But undress or dress up like anything you want to and just have some fun. Now, if you're hosting a party, I want you to take a couple things in consideration. I just became a vegetarian. If you're hosting a party, please put out food that I could eat. Okay, please put out stuff that a vegetarian could eat at your party. If you're going to play party games, okay, be sure that they're fun. Don't play lame party games. No one likes lame don't bob for apples. Who wants to get entirely made up in makeup and then stick their face in water? Except, of course, Whitney Houston. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, and Bobby Christina. I'm sorry. Anyway. I was listening to a Whitney song the other day, and she was saying she found love. I said, yes, at the bottom of a bathtub. Very tragic, very tragic. Halloween is the time to be inappropriate, by the way, and I just want to end on that. There have been many people that have said each year that someone's costume was inappropriate. Bill Maher, he was that, what was that National Geographic guy that got speared in the chest by a manta ray and died? And then Bill Maher went in his outfit with a manta ray thing sticking out. Halloween is exactly the time to be inappropriate. And you colleges out there that are sending out things to the students to tell them what not to wear. And now, I am not making this up, sweet baby Jesus on the little cross of Mary, there are 800 numbers to call if you can't deal with the appropriateness of Halloween costumes. People, I know that we're turning into a bunch of racist, ignorant bigots, but on Halloween, be as inappropriate as you want to. It's Halloween, for the love of God. You're not even supposed to be celebrating it in the first place if you're a Christian. So if you are, dress like whatever you want, because it's all about the fun. What am I going to be this Halloween? About 4 things. I dress up for the kids, and I'll go looking for kids with candy. I will. If they ain't coming to my door, I will walk around and give out candy. And I'll have a nice little, like something like this for the kids. And then I'll get in the costume and go out to the clubs and just to see what everybody else is wearing, because it's definitely a spectator sport now, Halloween. But if you're going to go out and look at costumes, you better put something on. Don't go out there without a costume to see other costumes, okay? All right, just remember, Halloween is fun. Be safe. I always kept my animals in the house on Halloween. Always, always, always. Lock them in the house. Your kitty, your doggies, put your pussies in the bedroom, put your doggies in the bathroom, whatever it might be. Keep your animals in on Halloween, because there are pranksters out there. We don't want them getting after your animals. Also, small children should nowadays probably go trick-or-treating in malls, businesses, places like that. Going door to door, I hate to say it, I told you guys about the beautiful little princess that came to the door from Frozen. She was like 6 years old. I'm a photographer. I asked if I could take her picture. Her mother looked at me dead in the eye and said, "What are you going to do with it?" I said, "Look at it, put it in a memory book, say Halloween 2017 or 2016. And then I said, you know what? Never mind. And so I didn't take a picture of the beautiful little girl just to make her happy because she was just so beautiful as a little princess, because her mother wondered what I was going to do with the photo. Unfortunately, those are the times we live in, people. So to avoid that, you can go to malls, you can go to other places, and have them in by sundown. Oh, and if you're 14 or 15 or 16, keep your ass and your pillowcase home. You're too old to be out trick-or-treating. Wait till the next day and go buy the candy at half price if you must have it so much. But don't be coming to my door at 15 years old and saying trick-or-treat, because you're going to get a slam, baby. Now I must compose myself and go edit some artsy magazine somewhere. Oh, even fake hair comes out. I'm losing even my hair at my middle age and my fake hair, my wigs. Right.
Something gets at